Now, in theory, it shouldn't be too difficult to transform away these bits. I'm going to loosen that up by doing it a few times. That worked. I'm going to loosen it a few times. That works. Okay, which way do the hands go? The fingers go towards the gap that you're folding it into. I think. Yep. Those are so... And the thing is, I don't even want to do the... why do I keep wanting to say vinyl so badly when it comes to the friction trick? The super glue... It's not vinyl. What? Varnish? No, it's not varnish. What is that? The stuff that's used in like fingernail polish. What's that called? Well, maybe if I wore thick fingernail polish, I'd have the answer. You also have to point the toes downwards in order to get the fist folded in all the way. I feel obligated to point out at this point that it turns out I'm actually, as usual, late to the third party, because it turns out that Grassor actually came out a little over 1 year ago. It came out in 2016. So that's the reason why I was having so much difficulty finding one, is because I'm late to the party. Again. Tilt the head back a little bit, so you have clearance for that neck panel. And then close it up. I don't remember if this is a G1 thing or not. Here's where we'll find out how loose that jaw joint is. Pull it out. Flip around 180. And use the ball joint as the main jaw positioning. Oh boy, that'll be trouble. I thought that not owning the original G1 toy, I thought that the head just folded up into, well actually it did, because this folded upwards and became the jaw. But for Grassor version, it's the other way around. Head folds into the chest, this panel remains the same, and then they've got a brand new jaw sitting up here. Did I already say that this specific version reflects the G1 toy, but not its animated counterpart? Like, it has an anime correct, or anime, yeah, the cartoon version has a red head, and I think it's like silver thighs, but it also has silver horns. But the G1 toy has red horns and black thighs, and a black head with a red visor. Didn't I already say that? Note to self. Do not try to flip open the joint for the shin without removing these first, or else the whole thing will break. You do have to remove these because the way the shin fits over the thigh. Okay, so you do have to remove those. I was hoping that they'd store way inside, but unfortunately not. Maybe that's why those little clips are there. I think the little clip at the little clip that's in here that's totally out of focus. I think that's the only reason that's there is so that this thing can fold down, so you can store the leg inside of the leg. But in this case, like, I think they could have done a larger lever with a dedicated hinge. That, you know, don't be afraid to like show that off. As it toes this tiny little you're not supposed to pay attention to it kind of joint or peg thing, which is worryingly thin. Considering how much die-cast metal is in these lower legs, the feet, and the tails, yeah, that joint's going to be put under constraint. Oh, also the toes on the legs also have die-cast metal. So I've heard that this is also a pain in the ass to get these feet out. Yeah, they're right. It will be a pain in the ass. Let's see. Jeweler's tools. I summon thee. I summon thee. Ding. Yeah, I can't do it. There's not enough room. Oh boy. It's going to be one of those. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I'm going to work that, so it's not a problem in the future. Oh, it doesn't ratchet, it's just a swell. It's friction only. Okay. So once you loosen this, once you loosen the little toe right here for the back legs, once you loosen it up, it's friction only. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine after that. See, Ava, you were worried about absolutely nothing. As far as I'm aware, this transforms exactly like the G1 version. Oh, it does transform just like the G1 version. The only difference is it's just a little more fiddly. If only I had the G1 version, I could make that claim with confidence. Seems like all these friction joints were painted over. Fair enough. But that being said, there's also a conflict in here with the thigh swivel because of the non-G1 toy accurate skirt armor. It gets a little bit in the way. Which, yeah, okay, fair enough. It is skirt armor after all. I almost feel like the back skirt armor is on a ball joint. I didn't think so, because something tells me it might be on a ball joint. The back of the shin actually has a panel that extends outwards a little bit. Just a little, but it is enough to impede the transformation. They did it that way so that the tail would be slightly more streamlined in robot mode. Or at least appearance-wise, it'd be more streamlined. Oh, no, okay. Robot mode toes do not fold inwards. There is a hinge there, but it's only for the posability. Now I want to try and find a G1 slag. Snarl. Actually, no, Snarl had a problem with that, so they call him Slug nowadays. And the name seems to have stuck. If only I could move the frills on the head a little bit more. If I could move that head a little bit more, that'd be great. Aha! There we go. So I was right. Those were on a double joint. So the neck of the Triceratops head actually is on a double joint. So there's a lower neck joint and there's an upper neck joint where so there's a ball joint here and then there's a swivel joint here. Or not swivel, but there's a, yeah. There we go. Now I can get to it. Moment of truth with the tail. The die-cast metal is not multiple pieces put together, it's just the outer edge, or the outer shell parts, because the inner edge of the tail is chromed, or it's not chrome, but it's painted. Well, maybe it is chrome. Yeah, the inner side of each half of the tail is chrome, but the outer side is die-cast metal that's been painted. There's not enough clearance here. I know what you want me to do, gotta get power. Okay, there we go. I just don't like how you did it. Wait, what? No, we're not doing that. No. Talk to me, Geiger Power. Talk to me here. I know Transformers are supposed to invoke puzzles in the way they're put together, but, you know, you don't put a puzzle together by just slipping two puzzle pieces, cardboard pieces together like this, when they're very much supposed to be slipped over each other. And that's something I'm currently fighting right now on the inside. The tail section wants to go over this knob, but the problem is the only way you can get it on there is to push it into the hole like this, which any puzzle person it's not possible because of the way this is shaped. You have to slip it around and then it'll go in. But unfortunately you can't do that here, so I'm very concerned about these wing pieces. They keep getting in my way, and I'm very concerned about this. Oh, okay, there we go. Remember, Ava, patience wins the game. Patience wins the game. There's also an extra joint where one is not necessary. that I'm having to contend with. That, and my calculations are correct. There's that. Cool. Of course, because the hips have their own ball joint, it starts shifting things around. The tail pegs together, but it doesn't peg together with friction. I can tell that the bottom of the heels have been in conflict with the back kibble the whole time, and so now it's all come down to this here. Getting the edge of those wings past the shoulders is a pain. Oh no, the shoulders can't bend that way. Why you do this to me? Okay. Final fit. Now for cleanup, the tail pegs together, but the friction of the pegs is not very good, so I think I'm just gonna have to live with it. Looks like the side frills moving is they're designed to look like they become streamlined with the top of the head frill, but it looks like practically in practice it doesn't work that way. So it looks like the frills were intentionally designed to move not for aesthetics but for practicality, for function. And if I'm not much mistaken, that is Geigerpower's Geigersaur HQ02R Grassor in come on. Yeah, don't make me use friction. There we go. In beast mode. I guess it'd be dino mode. And again, the tail pegs together, but the friction doesn't hold. There is no friction, so it just pegs together. But it's intentionally designed to wiggle a little bit at that joint right there, which is a very nice touch. I didn't think they could do it, but if the joints are lined up, yeah, I guess you can do that. Japanese toy engineering, ladies and gentlemen. Correction, this was manufactured in Texas. I guess that's where, no, I apologize. It was not manufactured in Texas. If I want to edit, that's a bad place to do it. Toy Dojo is located in Texas. I don't know where Geigerpower. Oh, who are you kidding, Ava? Geigerpower is located on Twitter. That's where they're located. Deal with it. There he is. I gotta refocus. You guys are missing out on a lot here. So there's the head. Look at the reflection of all that die-cast metal. Die-cast, 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 die-cast. Not die-cast? Not sure. So you got a ball joint and a hinge. You can tilt it up and you can tilt it down just a little. I mean, that's better than what the G1 version did, so shut up. So you can tilt it up and a little bit down. You might be able to tilt it down further if you play with this joint. Let's see. This is the position where, this is where it's supposed to be for robot mode, and don't wet your finger. This is where it is for beast mode. So you have to kind of play in there if you want to get any kind of up or down articulation. The joint is there, it's just... Also, this top frill moves in the wrong direction. The top frill should be able to move forward a little bit, or the neck should have extended like a millimeter or like 2 millimeters. Give me 2 millimeters, and then you can tilt the head up and down with no problem. But as it is, it's just, that's kind of it. So, whatever. I'm not quite sure which joint I'm supposed to be using for this, because the jaw is actually jointed in the middle where I guess the uvula would be. There's a ball joint and a swivel joint. So it's like, which one are you supposed to use? I don't know, you can use one and the jaw will completely disappear inside the skull. Or you can use the lower one and get it to actually be viewable, but you're having to wear out the ball and socket joint. Also available on the mouth. I'll get to it when I have better leverage. Incredible circuit detail here. absolutely fantastic. I didn't point this out, but both hip joint, shoulder and hip joints, they both have transparent, semi-transparent plastic, muted transparent plastic on there. So I'm going to pull back just a little bit because I can't see what the focus level is because I don't have a camera that can do that. Sigh. Yeah, see, I mean, I am pegging it together. It is solid, and then as soon as I let go, it just pops apart again. So it can swivel like this, out of camera. You can swivel like this, but it doesn't peg together. That's one of those friction things you just have to, what are you going to do? Let's see. The missile launcher, drill, whatever it is, can be pegged in either on the, okay, it's in the instructions. It says it can go there, okay. I think G1 puts them back here. That's round peg in a square hole, yeah. Here we go. Patience wins the game. I'll twist that a little bit without warping the plastic. I pray to God that peg doesn't get stuck in there like so many G1 toys did. Yeah, I want you to come out. Come on. Come on. Okay. Or, so you can either place it on the hip, or you can place it on the elbow joint again. This is the robot mode's elbow joint, so you can do it either way. I think those are the only accessories you can put on in robot mode, or Dinobot mode, or yeah, Dinobot mode. Ball and socket joint, full 360 all the way around. Friction joint at the knee. Let's see. And honestly, I don't know how accurate this is to G1, but it looks like they covered this up pretty well. Color me impressed. Yes, I was going to address this. Another double joint. What's up with that? There we go. So in the show, his horns glow, and he can either shoot lasers from here or some sort of energy projection from here. But he also, like any decent Dinobot, he can also, wow, that's a really tight joint. He also has a flamethrower built into the roof of his mouth, which you have to flatten it in order to get it into robot mode, but you have to mess around with it in order to have it visible in beast mode. Come on, go all the way back. Or is that it? Oh, that's it. Okay, don't press it any further than that, Ava. So he's got a little rifle flamethrower thingy right there. Never had a G1 Dinobot before. Ava, you need to refocus the camera again. Correction, you need to pre-focus the camera again because, you know, I totally have control over that. I can't imagine how the editing for this is going to go. It's been 3.5 hours in real time. I have no idea how it's going to cut down. Hopefully I can get it like just over 1 hour, hopefully. The transformation, obviously, I'm going to cut out a lot. I don't know which way a Triceratops legs go. Help me. They can go both ways. Is a leg an elephant, or I don't know. You can still get the legs, correction, the shoulders to ratchet outwards. Some people have complained about the proportions. I think the proportions is actually one of the things I liked about it. Or rather, what made me choose Grassor over, what was it, Gutter? Gutter? I think it's Gutter. Is I just like the proportions on this one a little better. Oh yeah, you can totally turn the head 360 if you so desire. That's nice. Oh, look at his inquisitive little puppy wag. I'll keep it that way. It's like, WTF is this? So, after some initial difficulties, not explained in the instructions, and having not dealt with this particular company before, I have to say, I didn't get all the features I wanted. Like, yes, I did want the flame attachment, because the flame attachment for this can also be attached under here. So I didn't get that, unfortunately. I did want that, but I didn't get it. I also did want the plastic covers for both the tail and the head, so I wanted those, but didn't get those. The horns, the changing of the horns, the changing of the color of the eyes, that doesn't bother me so much. But for my first official third-party figure, and having owned it for only about 3 hours, messed around with it for only 2, I gotta say I'm impressed. I like this. There's a few tolerances that I have to worry about. Again, I wish the neck could extend a little bit. Those clips just below the knee, those are worryingly thin. I think I've said that for the 4th time now. Those are very much a concern for me. What else? The heels of robot mode, which are up here, which are painted, by the way. These are painted gold. They're not metal. These, when you're transforming, are constantly bumping up against the back wing kibble. So that eventually the oh yeah, it's already started. Eventually the gold paint on the underside, on the actual grounding surface of the heels is going to get warm. That'll get scratched away, and the silver plastic on the underside of the kibble wings or wing kibble, that's also going to become scratched eventually. Not on the visible surfaces, you know, on the side here or whatever, but rather on the underside of it. So that's a conflict area. That's a tolerance area or tolerance issue. I can see the tail is not quite lined up, but that's also this not being lined up 100% is also, you know, also a thing due to having knee and hip joints on the inside. You can't, and also a swiveling waist joint. So those are things you just have to. It's things you just have to deal with it. That's what you deal with as a Transformer collector or kid. Very much not for kids, I'll say that. You have, if you've never collected a masterpiece, and I haven't, you got to be patient with it. You have to. You can't just, you know, throw it together like you would any common, ordinary Transformer. That's not what this is, because A, it's not Hasbro, B, it's not Takara, and C, it's third party. So regardless of which version of third party you choose to get, and this is actually something that's held me back for a long time, other than price points. The thing that's held me back about third parties is their quality control. For me, that is essential. Is this joint going to snap? Is this too tight or is this too loose? Are these parts going to warp? This is something that is the main concern, aside from price, that concerns me about third-party offerings. That's the main reason, the quality control, that has kept me away from third parties since they've come out. This is my first third-party figure ever. I don't know if it's... Are they supposed to go like this? Or are they supposed to go like this? I think they're supposed to go like that. I don't know. The kibble wings for the panels, they do line up, but they're not squeezing together quite as tight as I would like them to be. I can't fill this crease, but I am not going to make a big deal about it because it's close enough. I'm not going to worry about it. Everything else looks filled in really nicely. Oh no, I can't do that. I was like, wow, if this thing had a waist swivel on it, holy crap. Tiny, tiny, tiny electronics. Should have been like an LR44 in here, like 1 or 2 LR44s and call it good. I mean, you're talking watch batteries that are inside these things. And watch batteries are a lot smaller than an LR44. So like you'll have to take these to a jeweler in order to get these kinds of batteries. So it's nice that they have battery options in them. Just, I don't know, make the hilt, make the guard a little larger so you can get an actual, like, regularly used, regular collector type battery in there, and it'll be fine. Also, how long are those batteries going to last? I don't know about the life expectancy of that. I'd love to see these lit up, but I'm not going to put the money into getting the batteries. I'd love to see the head lit, or the robot mode head lit up. I'd love to see that. I think instead of putting individual electronics inside each head, what they should have done was put it in the base of the neck, or at in the top of the... they should have put the batteries somewhere below the neck and then wired it up through the neck so that there was a single LED in there. That way you wouldn't have to worry about multiple bulbs on the inside. I want to say that Bandai, which is not Transformers, Bandai does that often with their perfect grade Gundam model kits. Gunpla? They'll often have a single LED built into the head, but the wiring is actually built into the torso. So I think a single LR44 at the base of the neck, hidden from view, obviously, even in this mode. So it would have been a panel you open up, you stick the battery in, you put the panel back on. I think that would have solved the electronics issue, and it wouldn't have cluttered up the head nearly as much. What else? What time is it? It's only 4:30 and I'm hungry again. Let's see, robot mode. The ratchets are amazing. The friction joints work very, very well. For posability, the friction joints work really well. I wish the head would have pulled backwards a little bit more. I wish the dyno head pulled back a little bit more so you could actually get in there and get the head, the robot head to move side to side and even up and down a little. It is on a ball joint because you have to take it off, but you can't take advantage of it because the dyno head is just right there. You just can't do anything with it. So, you know, pull the head back a little bit more. Just even the 2 or 3 millimeter, the little bit that it moves for transformation is not quite enough that you can actually get some legitimate head turn in there. So maybe when they update this in 10 years or something, I don't know. This is cool. I like this. Patience is required to make this work, but it'll pay off. It pays off. $165 including shipping and handling. Get back to me later on that one. But honestly, I think a lot of the price comes from the amount of paint detail that they put onto it, the amount of molded detail they put into it, and the fact that it's got so much die-cast metal. The whole head is die-cast metal. And each of the claws is die-cast metal, and the tail is die-cast metal. And this back plate here, which a Triceratops didn't actually have, has die-cast metal on it. In fact, the only thing that doesn't have die-cast metal on it is... come on. Is these things. Oh, I scratched the paint. Doesn't matter. The only thing that doesn't have die-cast metal is these, and, you know, I'm kind of grateful they didn't, because 15-year-olds, emotionally, do these turn individually? No. Hormonal, you know, probably not a good idea. But again, what 15-year-old would know about G1 slag? They wouldn't give a shit. They'd give a shit about what's he called? He's called Slug in Age of Extinction. They would care about Snarl from Animated. You know, that's the kind of kid who would be interested in Dinobots these days. And also the Power of the Primes version as well. Yes, I'm planning to get all 5. Wait, 1, 2, see, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm planning to get all 5 of the Power of the PP Dinobots. And, oh, they also have a new one that's, what's it called? It's not Snarl. It's a Velociraptor. It's a female Dinobot. I hesitate to say the first female Dinobot ever. I hesitate to say that because I don't know for sure. But there's a chest accessory for Volcanius, whatever he's called. That's actually its own, like, Legends size figure. I don't own the Legends figures. Okay. I think I've said enough. And I think I've wasted enough of your time. You know, I have to wonder, is this an unboxing or is it more of a podcast? a vlog. Is that what this is? We just run it in the background. You know. Alright, my knees are killing me. I need a snack again. No, I need to hold off. Well, maybe if I distract myself with some porn, that'll help till dinner. This is AV Unit 4A saying, thank you for tuning in. Oh, hello. Oh! Decals for the eyes. Eh. I thought that was just an ID tag when I opened it up. See, so even though the eyes are already painted on, it has they're already painted on. You can either have decals that have them stay red, or you can put blue decals for the eyes. Nice. Whoa. Oh, I'll be damned. Giga power. Whoa. Let me get this off here. And here I was relieved I was done with the review. Alright. Alright. This is too funny. I thought I was done. I wish to make an amendment from, what was it, an hour and a half ago? However long ago it is when I put this video together. Turns out, both versions of Grassor have the semi-transparent pieces that you can stick on there. I guess that makes sense because the reason the animated version had silver-colored horns, but the toy version had the clear parts on it. God, how many other boxes of toys have I opened in the last 2.5 decades? They had stuff stored underneath, and I didn't know about it. Oh God, I'm gonna have to purge my closet now. I guess that does make sense because they're going for G1 toy accuracy with this particular release, not animated version. Even though yes, it comes with the animated head. You know, obviously it comes with these. It's trying to recreate the toy, not necessarily its appearance in the cartoon. I want to say I'm defaulted to anime. So in the cartoon, because in the cartoon he had chrome, or he had silver horns. Okay, so how does this work? Oh, okay, that explains why he's got all those little holes in the sides of his tail. I was wondering what those are for. They're plug-in points for these things. Oh God, how well are these going to clip together? I'm going to have to double check how the tail gets put away in the G1 version, because I'd like to be able to keep these parts on it. And these only peg in with friction. They don't snap into place. Do I wish they'd snapped into place? Yeah, but I can live with this. So before I move on to the head, G1 toy accuracy. Oh God, I wonder if they'll release a G2 version of this. By the way, the G2 version had most of the colors except that the silver, or the gray plastic was molded in green. So there were probably other changes, but I don't know them off the top of my head. And then, I think that just fits into place. Yeah, it just fits with friction, no pegs. I love how the horn sticks out. They didn't cover the horn sticks through the plastic. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted. That's totally out of focus. All right. All right. So it turns okay. So I didn't get the flame effects, but I got the colored parts or the semi-transparent covers that make them G1 accurate or make them toy accurate. Sweet. I think I'll just leave him like this all the time. He just looks better. He's jawsome. That's great. I love that. I think I'll just leave the eyes the natural color that they are. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to put blue eyes on them, but red eyes on a dinosaur, nothing wrong with that.